Justin and Chandra didn't think having 3,000 of their own was possible, but they're living it because they moved from Cali to Austin, Texas. Hi, I'm Maggie, Luce, and welcome to another episode of The Perfect Balance. One of the reasons I enjoy being a hybrid agent is because of stories like this. We're in front of Justin and Chandra's new home, who didn't think all this was possible. This couple decided to move from California to Texas for a better life, less taxes, less expenses, and now that he works virtually, he finally got the green light. Originally, they didn't think picking up and moving their lives across the country was feasible, but it was a lot easier than they thought. Today, we're going inside to see how they did it. Come on, let's go check it out. We're here with Chandra and Justin. What were you most surprised about the process?
I think I was most surprised at a lot of options in our budget and kind of, the specs that we wanted, bedroom count. Maggie had a pretty good list of homes for us to see, resale homes and new.
I think I was most surprised about just how quickly the process went. I think from the time that we were thinking about it to the time when Chandra made her first trip out here and met Maggie and toured some homes, it's now about 3 to 4 weeks later, and we are about a week out from closing on this home.
So what did you think about pricing compared to what you get?
I was very surprised, especially coming from Orange County where the prices are so inflated and you do not get a lot for your money. So to be under 400,000 and be able to buy a brand new home that's nearly 3,000 square feet on a 7,000 square foot lot was a shock.
I echo what you just said. In California, we were in a home that was basically like a large condo, and that was close to $1 million. And then to come out here and get into a home close to 3,000 square feet on the space that we're at for under 400,000 was just amazing. So.
Well, owning versus renting.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we were renting for the past almost 10 years. We did own a home in California that we lost in the recession, and we have been trying to buy ever since then, and it just seemed there was no light at the end of the tunnel in Orange County, and then coupled with other reasons, just seemed this is the best place for us, this is the right move, and we're so excited.
And just another example, from renting to owning, from California to Texas, we were saving $900 a month from our rent to what we're going to be paying on our mortgage. So now's the time.
Well, and I think too, a good point to bring up is you always think, what's the catch? There has to be a reason it's so much less expensive. And I think, of course there's going to be adjustments. It's hotter here in the summertime. We're going to have to get used to that. But overall, great schools, great community, really friendly neighbors that we've already met. I don't feel like you're giving up really anything.
So what advice do you have for anyone in the same situation?
My advice is write a pros and cons list. We did that as a family, and our girls helped us write out a list of pros and cons of moving out of California or wherever you are and moving to Texas.
I would say don't be discouraged. It seems like a massive undertaking, but once you get into the details and go step by step, I think everybody, well, at least we found, that it's easier than what is to be expected. Just with finding a home, just with coming out and visiting the home, going through the loan process, it is easier, and I think it's gone a little quicker than what we expected as well, and we're ready for it.
Well, the majority of that is because of you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Right.
She really knows her stuff, and I appreciate that she grew up here. She knows all of the areas. She has worked with the builders. She's very knowledgeable and just made us feel more at peace, and we were guided the entire way.
And I'll second that too. I think from our very first phone call, when we didn't know Maggie, we really only knew about Texas or the area from Zillow and looking at several videos, but she made us feel comfortable right from the very beginning with all the questions that we had. She must have been laughing behind the scenes because of how nervous and how many questions that we had, but she made us feel at ease with the entire process.
Are you excited about the move, the relocation?
Very excited. And it is stressful, but it seems like all of the stepping stones, the things we've had to do to get here are in line and in process, and it's happening. So we're very excited.
Yeah, I second that. I'm one that's usually a little slower to make decisions and to be very methodical, but I'm ready to go. Super excited. Our motto has been green lights, and we have been getting green lights at every little intersection we faced, and at this point, we're ready for it to happen. Can't happen quick enough.
Yeah, and our girls are excited, have their own big rooms, and just all new. It's very exciting.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
all
you,
this
Maggie.
and your advice.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Do it. If you're thinking about it, just do it. Call Maggie.
So the next time someone tells you you can't relocate to Austin, Texas, don't believe it. Justin and Chandra thought the same thing. But with the perfect balance of real estate and lending, they're living in one of Austin's suburbs. If you find yourself or know someone in a similar situation, please feel free to contact me and I might be able to help out. I help people just like you buy real estate every day, and I would be happy to assist you. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And for more information on Austin, Texas, check out some of my other videos or visit my website at www.maggieluce.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Maggie Luce with Cavalier Real Estate and Eagle Funding Corporation. And remember to keep Austin weird.